Always good to be with Tom Graham. When I go around to the Chamber Golf Tournament from time to time, I always like to be paired up with Tom because all I do is carry my putter up to the green. He hits the ball so far. I saw him giving lessons to Tiger Woods on the tee, so I knew he was the right partner to have.
I'm getting older, though.
That's all right. You're still my man. We'll get in the over 65 division. You're not there yet, but it's a pleasure to be here, and I've had the great opportunity of leading the House for 12 years and working with these gentlemen up here. They're great individuals. The first thing I'd like to do is ask all the legislators here, please stand up, regardless of Senate or House, Republican or Democrats. Please stand up and be acknowledged. They're the individuals that make things work. I see John Bohannon in the back, and let me just say this. A couple of years ago, we're into our second year. We formed a business climate work group, and we asked John and Galen Claggett to chair that and to go out and meet with the business community. They've been going around and coming up with innovative ideas of how to help change the business climate in the state of Maryland and create that partnership that are people talking about between government and between the private sector. And John did a wonderful job last year with TEDCO and investing some more of the state money there for incubator businesses. We hope to do a few things this year with the innovative economy of cybersecurity, which I believe is going to be the future of the state for the next couple of years. The leading employer in the state is Fort Meade with 53,000 employees. Right next to it's the National Business Park with 17,000 employees. We can't get people through our university system fast enough to take the jobs that are available in cybersecurity and other areas of technology. We've worked with the business community, both the Washington Board of Trade and the Greater Baltimore Committee, as well as Britt Kerwin at the University of Maryland. There'll be suggestions coming back on how we can utilize our university systems, both the University of Maryland, which has an honor course in cybersecurity, as well as UMBC, to take advantage of this area of business opportunity. You know, people here, we're trying to balance things. We went through a tough period of time. Obviously, the financial collapse put a tremendous burden on our state as well as other states. We did receive stimulus money for 2.5 years, which was $3.2 billion. And that money was really set in place to give us an opportunity to take a look at how we could balance our budgets with either revenues or cuts once that stimulus money ran out. And let me just tell you where the vast majority of it went. There's two mandates that the state has. One is from the federal government, which anyone that can qualify for Medicaid has to match that. We put about $3.5 billion to $3.8 billion a year into our match with the federal Medicaid. Now, 80% of that money to senior citizen, developmentally disabled, and the mentally challenged. And as the economy has problems, those roles increase. Now, what happens if we don't fund Medicaid? That means our hospital system, which gets paid in the state of Maryland on an all-payer basis, loses revenues, and our nursing homes lose revenue, and our health system goes out of control. The other mandate we have is to fund an adequate and equitable education for every child. Now, that is a constitutional mandate in the state of Maryland. We're very proud that 5 years in a row we have the #1 education system in the country. That is done by Education Review. It's not done by us. And I think everybody takes a great deal of pride in that. We're one of 5 states in the country that actually invest in school construction money. $1.1 billion capital budget that the state has before it this year, $627 million goes to education between higher education facilities, community colleges, and our K-12 education system. In the last 8 years, we've invested close to $3 billion in school construction across the state of Maryland. That makes a huge difference. And it also means that children across the state, whether from Garrett County or Somerset County or Baltimore City or Montgomery County or Howard County, all have the opportunity to get a quality education. There's not a haves and has not as other states when you have local school boards that raise those taxes. So we're very proud of the fact that we've gone about it in that fashion. Our community colleges have grown and been much of the economic engine that train the people and the workforce that we have today. And the result of our education system, as far as I'm concerned, and at least in my opinion, that's why we've had the highest median income in the country for 3 years in a row. I mean, that's something I think we can all take a great deal of pride in. And that, as far as I'm concerned, comes from a well-educated workforce, and we want to continue to build on that. A couple of things we've talked about, the recoupling with the federal government on the estate tax. We are totally out of line with the rest of the country and the federal government. We're only one of 2 states that have an inheritance tax and an estate tax. The exemption on the federal level was $5 million. We're at $1 million. There's only 14 states that are below the federal government. So we believe the best course of action for tax relief is the direction of coming into compliance with other states and the federal government on the estate tax. That'll be phased in. And that'll come forward this year. We're very fortunate this year to balance the budget and fully fund our education system. As I said before, $6.2 billion goes into K through 12 education across the state. No other state makes that kind of investment in education. And to put it in perspective, collectively, all the counties and the city of Baltimore do not put as much money into K through 12 education as the state does. And 64% of the construction costs for schools across the state are covered by the state of Maryland, not by local government. 16 out of the 24 subdivisions get more money from the state than they put up locally. But that's once again to have the effort that we want in our education system. Much has been said about minimum wage. Obviously, it's an issue that's not unique to Maryland. It's taking place in other states. 21 states now have a higher minimum wage than Maryland. You know, we are at the federal level right now at 7.25. We've had 2 counties that already raised the minimum wage, Montgomery and Prince George's County. You know, we are going to try to figure out a way that we can deal with a minimum wage that we believe is fair, obviously, to all taxpayers in the area of the state. I mean, Garrett County and Somerset County certainly aren't going to be a wealth base that you have in Montgomery and Prince George's County. Much has been talked about the earned income tax credit. It is my opinion the most favorable way to go. Well, we already invest $160 million in an earned income tax credit. It comes directly out of the budget to go to some of our more economically challenged individuals. So we're very happy to deal with that in that respect. But there will be some debate, and obviously I think there will be some minimum wage bill passed at the end of the year. Indeed, Senator Brinkley, that is a train coming down there, not just a light.
I learned that.
So he's a smart man. I've heard that there's people leaving the state of Maryland. In the last census, the growth in the state of Maryland was a little faster than the national average. We gained 470,000 people between 2000 and 2010. We gained another 200,000 people since 2010 to 2014. So we've gained about 600,000 people in the state of Maryland, one of the most densely populated states. And I believe the fact that we still have the highest median income means somebody's still paying taxes here in the state of Maryland. So I do believe people were coming here because of the education system, because of the job opportunities, because we were investing in infrastructure. Last year, passed a transportation initiative that I believe the Chamber of Commerce was fully supportive of. We're hopeful that through that, we will attract the new FBI headquarters that is relocating either between Virginia or Maryland. We think that we're best positioned to do that because of the placement of our congressmen and our U.S. senators, number one. You got to send up to bat who the best players are. But I mean that's 20,000 jobs. That's 13,000 high-paying jobs from the FBI, and another 7,000 jobs would go around that. You need an interchange there in Prince George's County at Greenbelt, and you already have your mass transit that is there. So I mean they are important things for us to undertake. It was not an easy decision to raise the transportation tax, and you had to combine that with a couple of things just to get 71 votes to make that happen. And ultimately, that's the name of the game. We're a little disappointed with the health care exchange bill, and I would support Senator Brinkley in his comments. I think that the insurance industry stepped up to the plate and has been a great partner in trying to resolve this issue with you. But I'd ask all of you to remember back. How many remember when Care First wanted to go from nonprofit to for-profit? And it's a good thing we still have a nonprofit here in the state of Maryland to deal with our healthcare industry. So, I mean, we try to work together to make these things come to fruition. I'm very proud to live in the state of Maryland. Both my daughters have gone through the public school system, and I look forward to the challenges this year and working with my good friend Nick Kipke, who was not as good an athlete as his father, I can guarantee you that, and Senator Casemeyer and Senator Brinkley, as well as the President of the Senate. Thank you.